Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be reading part 1 of this book. The Amazing, Astonishing, Incredible, and True Adventures of Me, Charlie Small, Gorilla City. Publisher's note. Charlie Small's journal was found washed up on the banks of the River Wye at Skippool in Lancashire, England. No one is sure where it came from or how old it may be. The address listed inside no longer exists. So if you have any information as to the whereabouts of Charlie Small, please contact the publishers. Name, Charlie Small. Address, Gorilla City, the jungle, somewhere. Age, 400, maybe even more. Mobile 077743. School St. Beckham's. Things I like: exploring, climbing trees, collecting rocks and animal skulls, playing computer games, mountain biking, skateboarding, watching TV. Things I hate: Danny Rook, a bully, liver and onions, St. Beckham's. If you find this book, please look after it. This is the only true account of my remarkable adventures. My name is Charlie Small, and I am at least 400 years old. But in all those long years, I have never grown up. You see, something happened when I was 8. Something I can't begin to understand. I went on a journey, and I'm still trying to find my way home. And although I can now speak fluent gorilla, spit 100 yards, and swing through the canopy of a tropical rainforest, I still look like any 8-year-old boy you might pass in the street. I've traveled to the ends of the earth and to the center of the earth. I've fought giant crocodiles, challenged great apes, and seen creatures you don't even know exist. You may think this sounds fantastic. You could think it's a lie, but you would be wrong, because everything in this book is true. Believe this single fact, and you can share the most incredible journey ever experienced. Charlie Small. Boom, rumble, crack. My adventures begin. Such a lot has happened since lunchtime. It's now midnight and I'm camped in the middle of a vast and windswept plain, many miles from home. I've been looking for an adventure, and I found it. More adventure than I could have possibly imagined. It all started this afternoon. There was a huge storm last night, and it was still raining really hard when I woke up, so I'd stayed indoors playing computer games. I'd finally beaten the big boss on level 6 when Mom came into my room. I can't believe you're still playing that stupid game, Charlie, she sighed. It stopped raining ages ago. Why don't you go to the park? I'm sure some of your friends will be there. I don't want to go to the park, I said, pulling a face and striking the console with a rapid rat-tat-tat. You need some fresh air, Mom insisted. But if I can just finish this next level, I'll beat my best score, I protested. Just then, and I have no idea what caused it, the computer crackled and a tiny spark of electricity ran a rugged path right across the picture. The game froze and the screen faded to black. No way, I moaned. What was that? I tried rebooting the computer, but the game wouldn't restart. Oh, brilliant, I scowled. It's broken. What am I supposed to do now? Well, said Mom, seeing as the computer's off and you don't want to go to the park, how about making yourself useful by tidying your room? I looked around at the huge piles of stuff on my floor and gulped. Suddenly, going outside didn't seem like such a bad idea. Can't I go exploring, Mom? I asked, if I promised to tidy my room later. Mom pursed her lips. I could try that raft Dad helped me build. She put her hand on her hips. And you did say I needed some fresh air, I pointed out. Oh, all right, said Mom, heading downstairs with a sigh. Just don't be late for tea. Brilliant. I rummaged under my bed for my rucksack. I always took it out with me if I was going exploring and kept it packed full of things that might come in handy. Dragging it out, I checked to make sure they were all there. 1. My penknife. Mom would kill me if she knew about this. 2. A ball of string. 3. A water bottle full. 4. A big bag of Pater Chak's mint humbugs, the stripy kind. 5. A telescope. 6. My pajamas, in case I ever had to camp out overnight. 7. A scarf. 8. An old railway ticket. 9. This old notebook to write up my adventures in. 10. My mobile phone and the wind-up charger. 11. A pack of wild animal collector's cards. They are full of very scary facts and could be useful to an explorer. 12. A glue pen to stick any interesting finds in my book. I swung the rucksack onto my back, threw the leg over the banister, and slid down into the hall. I just grabbed my coat and was running for the door when my nose caught the smell of freshly baked cakes wafting from the kitchen. I couldn't resist sneaking back to steal one off the tray. See you later, Mom, I yelled, dodging past her and racing for the back door. But if I'd known then what I know now, I would have grabbed a whole tray of cakes. Because something tells me I won't be tasting Mom's delicious cooking again for a very long time. But hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself. If this is to be a proper explorer's diary, I need to tell things in the right order. And that means I can't write about yet. I want this to surprise you as much as it surprised me. I need to explain how I got here and why I don't think I'll be tasting any more of Mom's cakes anytime soon. I ran down the path to the bottom of our garden, pushed past the weeds at the side of the shed, and stepped up onto the bank of the stream. I untied my raft, used a wooden oar to push my way through the reeds that grew thick from the bank, and began to paddle downstream. There was no one else around, but I didn't mind. I decided to see if I could make it all the way to the main river. Up a creek. I soon realized that finding my way wasn't going to be easy. The stream was so full of rain from the thunderstorm that I had burst its banks. Muddy water was swirling through the reeds and tree roots at the bottom of next door's garden, and the waste ground on the far bank was all flooded. My little raft was soon bouncing about in the swirls and eddies, and twice I had to lean hard on my paddle so I wouldn't be tipped overboard. I was concentrating so hard I didn't notice that storm clouds were gathering in the sky once again. It was then that things really started to happen. There was a sudden rumble of thunder, and the heavens opened. The rain came pouring down, and I was soaked in seconds. The stream began churning with froth, and before I could paddle for the bank, my raft was swept along in a surge of flood water. It was pointless trying to paddle, so I raised the oar out of the water, and wham! A huge bolt of lightning shot from the clouds. It flashed down onto the end of my upraised paddle and sent a judder dancing right through my body. Whoa! My limbs kicked and tingled with energy, and then I was slammed down onto the raft as a fork of brilliant light passed right through me, fizzing and crackling along the stream until it disappeared from view. I lay still for a moment as the raft spun in crazy circles. Then I sat up very carefully, heart racing, and quickly inspected myself for damage. Amazingly, I seemed to be completely unharmed. I was just struggling to my feet when I heard a thick buzzing noise like a muffled chainsaw. I turned my head and whoosh! A huge dragonfly, much bigger than any I'd ever seen before, swooped past my nose and flew off across the reed. I was so surprised I almost toppled into the water. It was gone in a flash of emerald green, and I didn't really get a good look, but I knew it had been massive, maybe even as big as a crow. If I'd remembered to pack my net, I might have caught it. But a net was one of the explorer things that I hadn't brought with me. I was a bit disappointed. I thought I'd missed out on the chance of making an important scientific discovery. Little did I know what was waiting just around the corner, into a tunnel. As I was swept around a curve in the stream, I expected to see the main river somewhere up ahead. Instead, I saw that the banks were now lined with tall trees that arched over the water, creating a long, dark tunnel. I paddled furiously, trying to slow down, but the current was too strong and I was sucked into the tunnel mouth. My raft raced along. The foliage grew thicker and the tunnel got darker and darker and darker. Okay, thanks for watching. That's part 1. Make sure to like and subscribe. Bye!